Dear learners, welcome you all to the module on coordination in supply chain. I would be presenting this module in 3 video lessons. Before moving on to the first lesson, let us see the learning objectives of this module. They are to develop understanding of supply chain coordination, explain bullwhip effect along with its causes and consequences, and to describe ways to minimize bullwhip effect. At the end of the session, learners would be able to appreciate the need for supply chain coordination, comprehend the causes and consequences of bullwhip effect, understand the ways and means to ensure supply chain coordination. In the first video, we will focus on what is supply chain coordination and what are the obstacles to supply chain coordination. We human beings are consumers of various products and services in daily life like tea, bread, clothes, car, banking and so on. Have you ever thought of how such products and services reach us? Well, there are a whole lot of activities behind this consumption. The products and services are manufactured and delivered to end consumers through a network of value-adding activities called supply chain. Supply chain activities involve procurement, processing, production, logistics, inventory management, warehousing and so on, and include many channel partners like suppliers, manufacturers, distributors, retailers and consumers. There arises the need for seamless integration of activities as various parties work towards a common goal of providing the customers with the right product at the right time and at the right place. The supply chain needs to be demand driven from end consumer. Today, integration has become increasingly complex due to technological innovations, globalization, outsourcing practices and greater varieties. Having understood the importance and complexity of supply chain, coordination shall be the only solution to ensure success of supply chain. Companies involved in the supply chain network can obtain competitive advantage through the supply chain coordination. Companies or channel partners in a supply chain are dependent on each other for information, material and financial flows. Supply chain coordination occurs when all stages take action together considering the consequences of their actions on other stages. Supply chain coordination aims at improving the overall performance and total profitability of the supply chain by proper alignment of the plans and objectives of the individual channel partners. Such coordination would remove uncertainty and reduce variability within the network. In the traditional setup, channel partners were working as silos or islands where every channel partner would try to maximize their individual profits and not the total supply chain profits. Such isolated approach would lead to conflict among channel partners. Therefore, each partner has to decide considering the impact on other partners. Moving on to incentive-based obstacles. It refers to situations in which incentives provided to different channel partners increases variability and reduces total supply chain profits. This includes local optimization within stages and Salesforce incentives. Local optimization means trying to optimize one stage or function without any regard to the impact it does on the entire supply chain. For instance, if transportation function decides to optimize by transporting only full truckloads, then it would increase inventory and inventory holding cost. Salesforce incentives are generally provided to increase sales but have to be dealt with care. There are two broad categories of Salesforce incentives. First one, sell-in approach, which means the units of products sold by manufacturer to distributor or retailer. And the second one is sell-out approach, which means the units of products sold by retailer to end consumer. If Salesforce incentives are planned with sell-in approach, then it would result in excessive selling within stages and high fluctuating order quantities during the period of incentives. The next one is information processing obstacles. This refers to a situation in which demand information is distorted as it moves between various stages, resulting in increased variability. This is called as bullwhip effect, which we will further discuss in the next video. Information processing obstacles includes forecasting based on orders and lack of information sharing among stages. For instance, the manufacturer relies on the wholesaler regarding order quantity without knowing the actual demand at the customer end. Similarly, the wholesaler relies on information from retailers without knowing the actual customer demand. So, when the manufacturer or wholesaler does prediction with such received demand data than actual demand data, then variability increases up the supply chain. Similarly, if a retailer like DMart is offering some promotions to increase sales, and if the same information is not shared among the channel partners, then it would result in increased variations. Now moving on to operational obstacles. It refers to actions taken in the course of placing and filling orders that leads to increased variability. This includes ordering in larger lots, large replenishment lead time, and rationing and shortage gaming. Retailers or wholesalers prefer to order in larger lots to take advantage of discounts, but it may significantly increase variability if there is a higher difference between demand fluctuations and order fluctuations. Large replenishment lead time is also an obstacle for supply chain coordination. For instance, if the lead time is say 10 weeks and if the retailer is forecasting good demand for the product, then the retailer will order it before 10 weeks so that he is assured of the product availability. Another problem occurs due to rationing and shortage gaming. For example, if a product is in high demand and the supply is limited, then manufacturer resort to rationing, in which they provide less than order quantity to wholesalers or retailers. If retailers orders 10 units, he might be given say 5 units. So, what the retailer might do is, he might order higher quantities, say 20, in order to get his 10 required units. All these operational obstacles will lead to increased variability of the product. The next one is pricing related obstacles. This refers to situations in which pricing policies of the product lead to increase in variability. It includes lot sizes based on quantity discounts and price fluctuations. For example, if manufacturer provides discounts based on lot sizes, then wholesalers would place larger lot sizes than actual requirement to enjoy discounts. Similarly, when price discounts are provided by manufacturer, wholesalers and retailers will do forward buying to utilize the discounts, and after the discount period, orders will be significantly low. In general, sales down the supply chain, that is at the retailer level, will have lesser variability than sales up the supply chain, that is at the manufacturer level. The last type of obstacles is behavioral related. It refers to problems in learning within management that causes increased variability. This happens when each stage does not recognize its impact on another. Any stage or stages are unable to identify root cause of the problem. Sometimes information may not have been shared by retailer regarding local promotion, which would have resulted in increased order during that period, and manufacturer would be unable to trace the reason for the same. Different stages starts blaming one another for fluctuations. Next is lack of trust in other channel partners. So, even if some channel partner is sharing some information, the others don't rely on it. And lastly, the limited company perspective. The supply chain coordination is inevitable in order to optimize productivity and profitability. In the next video, we will discuss on bullwhip effect, its causes and consequences. Thank you.